Sugar shred, bitch. What up, fam? Welcome back. I am masculinity architect Duwaynelangham. This is the Ave, Yolo Ave, the road least traveled. You have just tuned in for another day of the sugar shred. This is week 2, day 2, Tuesday. Yesterday was our sugar fast. And again, the honeymoon is over. I'm going to keep it real with y'all, give you the full report on anything and everything. I was at 2:42 this morning and 2:43 now after my workout. Now with that, I do consume probably, because with the cramping and hydration, I'm very mindful of water. So I do make sure to get in like a solid 100 ounces of water before, I wake up with 32 ounces, take my morning supplements, chlorophyll, chia seeds, putting some Celtic salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, mixed in some soul water. I put that in just to replenish electrolytes. And, 32 ounces with that. While I'm at the gym, I got a 32 ounce water. I'm filling that up twice. So yeah, I'm at about 100 ounces of water. And I've had one meal this morning, one fruit bowl, honey, sugar on top of it. So data to come from it. Everything is still everything. Everything is still working. And again, honeymoon is over. So what I am hearing people say is that on your sugar days, calories don't count. And it also depends, because I want more of a holistic diet. So with that, I am having a salad with just chopping up a head of romaine, cranberries, apple on it. But that's inside of my fruit fast, fruits and vegetables. We should be good. No protein, but I did over on the calories. And so here's what I'm realizing. One, I'm sorry. Numbers are still good. Things are still happening. End of day yesterday, and this was a very active day. Evening walk to the store, went and moved some furniture out of storage, and of course my normal morning routine, 10,000 steps and an hour in the gym hitting chest. But with that, right, consuming 2,200 calories for the day, and mind you, I'm not pressed on, do I have to be calorie counting? But here's the thing, I'm out to cut fat, and is that beneficial for what I want? Overall 500 grams of sugar. And also that's with eating sugar all throughout the day. That's why I keep going for the evening walks and rides. Okay, 2 factors I really got to be honest and compensate for. The night before, and this is what I accounted it to, the night before I only had 4 hours of sleep. A couple of factors with that. One, that's not a lot of sleep. That's where the fat loss is going to happen. That's where the recovery happens. And shortening that, I thought it was going to have an impact. It did. However, what I will say is to be on the all sugar, energy was still there. I only chose to sip my afternoon coffee, and I didn't feel lethargic, drained, which usually, crash immediately, as soon as a workout's done or as soon as you sit still, no energy, dead. And that wasn't the case. That sugar powered me through the whole 5 o'clock, had another cup of coffee, put some honey. Actually, I did agave and some sugar inside of that. But that's where I'm looking. I also had a yogurt yesterday, which had 15 grams of protein in it. So I don't know if that stopped the FGF 21 and all that. But here's what I'll say, why I'm still on board and just dialing in what's going to work for me, for my goals, for my results. And always keeping in mind a lifestyle. I was 246 by the end of the day. Sugar fasting. Did a fucking farmer's walk back. I went up to the store, got some canned fruits and stuff, got that maple syrup actually, and some apple juice. So I had some pretty heavy stuff, maybe about 10, 15 pounds. I don't know, it's not weights. But doing a farmer's walk on the way back from the store, probably about 1.5 miles, good sweat, good cardio, good steps. I was at like 16,000 steps yesterday, plus my moving stuff out of storage, plus my workout. So by the end of the day is what it is, activity there. But like I said, end of the day, 246, not getting sleep, eating sugars throughout the day, 2,200, at least what I tracked, 2,200, maybe it was 2,300 if I'm not meticulous to everything, but 500 grams of sugar. Again, things that are all within range, supposedly, on this diet. And I look back, the sleep didn't help, the added weight didn't help. But here's the thing, I dial in today, I've already dialed in what I want to eat with protein, and I'm at like 1,700 calories. I'm really seeing, and that's with what I want to eat. I'm about to go make my post-workout meal, another bowl of fruit. But I'm looking at, 2 bowls, one to get the day started, one after your workout, the afternoon coffee, appetite suppressant, working through all that. But I really am not seeing a need to have 500, like I think honestly like 300 grams of Sugars, I'm probably good. Carbs, I'm probably good. And especially on a sugar fast day, carbs are going to add to that. Or when I'm actually eating food, will add to that. But I just don't, starches, sorry. I just don't think, right? It's all a living experiment. But these are some of the factors going through my mind, what I'm looking at on this day 2 of week 2, currently 243 on the scale. And that's after a sugar fasted day. I think you might have heard it if you were doing the math, but that's why I know it still works, because I went to bed at 246. I woke up 242. So I still lost 4 pounds overnight. That type of fluctuation going the right direction. Now, eating bullshit and ending up going to bed and putting on weight, that's when I know I'm going in the wrong direction. As Mark Bell says, what does the scale say? So dropping 4 pounds down to come back to 242, again, that's like my sweet spot lately, 241, 242. So I'm just looking at measuring, dialing in, getting everything correct, and I'm going to be intentional. The thing is, as I said with the whole honeymoon, it's like seeing what I can get away with. Everything's so great and wonderful, and just enjoy to the max. I don't really need to do that. I don't really need 500 grams of sugar. I'm so clear that energy after 4 hours of sleep, having a day like yesterday, fucking amazing. So I'm so clear the benefits and caveats are all worth it to continue. And now I'm realistically looking to say, okay, you're going to put this cycle in play, 2 48-hour sugar fasts every week. How much of this, how dialed in does this need to be? How close do you need to stick to? Because, while it's hard, I've been doing fitness, nutrition, measuring the macros, the progress I've already had this year. If that's what you got to do to get the result, that's what the fuck you got to do to get the result. So I'm not chasing the fad of it. I'm not chasing the cause you can. That's why I went shopping. I went down the candy aisle. I still couldn't just bring myself. I got the macros and it works. I still just couldn't bring myself to buy a bunch of bullshit. It's just not what I'm pressed for. I even actually realized today, because I'm looking at the starches I eat, I prefer sweet potatoes, but I've been so, hands off to rice, and that I haven't touched this stuff, and it's so readily available, so cheap. I'm probably going to start mixing that in, and it's fully inside of my diet, but just mentally wrapping around. I'm not saying I'm avoiding it, and at the same time, I am. I'm not rushing towards it. I'm going with the things I like. I've had a lot of sweet potatoes sitting around, so it's just been something I haven't had to shop for. But that's where we are, 243. Waking up 4 pounds lighter, can't complain. Really surprised with the results yesterday, gaining weight on a sugar fast with all the activity, 16,000 steps and a workout. However, I have to be honest, with 4 hours of sleep, how surprised can I be? 2,200 calories. And like I say, when I dial in a diet with today, I've already got 70 grams, 90 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fats, 2 lean chicken breasts, California medley vegetables, another salad with apple, cranberries, and these 2 fruit bowls and my coffee and honey. Like, all of that added up, it's about 1,600, 1,700 calories. If you count the skinny girl dressing, whatever that is, I don't even bother to add that on, but I'm right at about 1,700 calories. That's where I was when I was doing keto and high protein diet. And I say that inside of I'm actually comfortable with that. I don't feel starved. I've had a whole life of indulging in food, so I really am meticulous to food for fuel. Enjoy life, have a lifestyle, but I'm not so focused in, like I said, I had the honeymoon phase. What can I eat newly? Let me adjust my taste. Let me look at the macros and labels and see what works. But I'm not so, I want it. I can. Like, I'm aware some of this shit is excessive. I was putting jam on top of it, sugar on top of it, honey on top, all the things that everybody says on top of the fruit. Add a fruit cup in with that. Go ahead and have a cup of juice too. It's like, I can, but do I fucking need to? Do I fucking want to? And what's the goal? And so, as I always say, I'm optimal performance, optimal results. If I can, what I'm seeing reliably, especially with 2 48-hour sugar fasts, if I can reliably, safely, realistically expect a nice range of 3 to 5 pound weight loss a week, that's what I'm going for. So my low being 238, and honestly, like I said, that was 10 pounds in 7 days, the first week of doing this. Not saying that that's the bench, and saying that it is very capable, it is very within range. It's understandably so. And we're a month away from the birthday, so if you're going to cross the finish line and really get somewhere, some other benefits. I was just about to say, I don't know per se. I've never seen myself this low. I don't know that the number on the scale, 225, abs are just going to magically be there. And at the same time, that is actually the experience I'm having. I can distinctly tell, like, yes, the fat, the skin is still there. I'm rapidly losing weight, but I can that's the other part why, you know, that 4 pounds dropping overnight is still good enough for me. Every day, fam, every day, my clothes fit different. Every day I feel so much lighter. Every day I'm looking in the mirror and seeing more and more definition. So regardless with this fluctuation, what that's mentally looking like up here, how I'm looking at my body, how I'm feeling, like even today, forearm, you know, vascularity, cuts and things that I did not have yesterday. New cuts, new things are coming up. So my body is still responding. My composition is still changing. The diet is still working. It is doing what it's doing. And I'm being mindful of, okay, this is a lifestyle. How do I want to dial this in? Where do I want it to land? And I really do feel like 2,000 calories is with cushion, to be honest. Like, I'm so satiated. I'm eating throughout the day. I don't have to be as strict with fasting, water fasting. You know, I don't need as much protein. There's so many reasons, so many flexibility. The energy that I've got, I don't need more. And my, you know, strength workouts, nothing suffering thus far that I can tell. I'm not pushing, of course, I'm on a cut. So I'm not pushing, but I haven't lost anything. I know what it was like where, yeah, I'm not as strong as I have been in the past losing weight on keto and high protein. But I know what it feels like when I'm fasting so much or when I'm fasted training, because that's what I like to do, maximize. And I'm noticing like I don't have the normal strength. I'm having to go pretty light on it. I'm good and strong. I can push myself. Workouts are there. I don't need caffeine. I drink it because I feel like it. I immediately cut down to 1 a day, and that's like just because I put honey and sugar in it. Do I keep that as a staple? And I'm sure it's affecting some type of appetite suppressant. But beyond that, it's really dialing in the lifestyle for the results and for the track of what I want. And again, I still want to settle into, like I was just talking about, starches, carbs. You know, maybe it'll be 1 day of fast and then both of my, not just protein and then protein and starches, but it might be protein and starch like just as a staple, as the regular, and then still have 1 day a week where I allow fat to be whatever. But that's the update. That's the latest. Still overall as a lifestyle, I'm hooked. Still overall enjoying myself. And, you know, it's great. I'm about to go make my second bowl, my second meal at 10 a.m. I've already gotten 7,500 steps. I've already gotten a workout, and I'm already laid out with coffee, a salad at lunch, or whenever I decide to go ahead and break in a way, salad, eating more solid foods, and have some chicken breasts and some cauliflower medley for the day, call it a night, and see how I feel with this 1,700 calories. I am mindful of, if I'm hungry, eat. That's about the only things I do want to stay in range with, and I'm present to it being a slippery slope. Oh, it's your fast day, you're only having sugars, and I'm listening to all of that. I really think that 4 hours hit me pretty negatively, 4 hours of sleep, but beyond that, I don't really see anything else except just the excessive calories. The way I see it, there was probably 500 to 600 calories in yesterday's diet that I did it just because it was a fast. The protein and 4 hours of sleep, the protein yogurt and 4 hours of sleep is about the only thing I can say that could have limited my results. But again, waking up the next morning 4 pounds lighter. It is what it is, fam. So this is day 2, week 2, Tuesday. Get it, baby. Sugar straight, bitch. In the meantime, be right here. Wish you the best and only success, being the best version of myself, one could say, beyond empowered. The question is, who are you going to be? Peace.